This is for my friend Brandon, who asked me to show him how to make this dish that he loves that I make called aglio olio. Basically, you know, you bring some linguine to a boil, and you saute some olive oil, garlic in some olive oil, and you also put a little bit of anchovy in it. If you don't have anchovies, you can also use anchovy paste. When you're making this, you want to be really careful not to burn the garlic. And trust me, I know a lot of people out there are probably saying, ooh, anchovies, but these things will dissolve right down and they'll give it a flavor that that it just has to have. Little boy Nigel, he likes to watch Daddy cook. Hi, Nigel. You good boy? Get down off of there. Get down. 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 Now, when you're making this, I'm making it very basic today. I'm just putting, you know, the olive oil with the garlic and the anchovies. But sometimes I like to put shrimp in it or broccoli. The other day I made it I took a tomato, about a baseball-sized tomato, and I chopped it up and I cooked it in with this. And I also put in a little bit of ground beef and just kind of sauteed that at once. Everything else, like the part I'm doing right now, is kind of near its end. So once the garlic starts to cook, you can kind of smush it down. You want to be careful. If it's too hard, it'll go shooting out of the frying pan. But that piece is too hard, so I'm not going to try crushing it yet. Just kind of keep it moving. Maybe I'll turn it down a little bit, because you want to be very careful not to burn the garlic. Once it burns, forget it. It's ruined. Just let that all kind of saute and get happy. Another thing I like to do is I like to put black pepper in it. I'm going to have to put the camera down to do this part. Parsley plant here that I'm tearing some parsley off. You don't really have to put parsley, but I like to put it to just to give a little color into the aglio olio. So I'm going to just take this parsley and chop it up. The linguine is almost done, and I actually have the olive oil, garlic, anchovy mixture kind of turned off because I didn't want it to overcook. But a little while before the linguine's done, I like to turn the heat up on the garlic and oil so it's nice and hot. When I strain the linguine, I can just throw it right in there. And as you might be able to see, I ground some fresh ground black pepper in there. I'll probably put a little bit more after I put the linguine in. And I also have ground up some Romano cheese with some fresh parsley that I cut right here in my own kitchen. I have growing. And the linguine is just about done. The really important thing when you strain it is you try to keep some of the water. Normally I'd be doing this with two hands, but I'm holding the camera. Put a little bit of the water in the pan, because you don't want this to get too dry. I'm going to throw the linguine in there, move it around, keep it moving, kind of fry the flavor of the garlic oil with the anchovies into the linguine. You don't want to put the cheese in until after it's out, because Romano cheese, if you heat it up too much, instead of becoming gooey, it turns into gum, and that's not really too good. I'm trying to grind some pepper here with one hand. I can't really do it. I'll do it after when the camera's off. So anyway, that's all kind of flavors getting cooked in there. And I kept a little bit of the water when I strained it that I'm going to dump in. I usually have more water than that, but that's alright. Now I'm going to turn the heat off. I'm going to throw it into a nice big serving bowl. I'm doing this one-handed, so some of the linguine stuck to the pan. I'll deal with that later. Then you throw in your Romano cheese with your parsley. You don't really have to put the parsley, but I like doing it. It gives it a little color. And that's basically how you do it. Once it's done, hit it with some fresh ground black pepper. You can always put it on the pepper in when you're serving it in your plate, but it's just phenomenal. There you go, Brandon.